All right, so Julie with Monster Exclusive here, and I am in the Uwharrie. We are on an expedition this weekend, and I have David and Don here with me. Now, they've had some experiences in this particular location where we're at right now, and I wanted to go ahead and have you guys tell us what have you experienced here, David?
In the past, multiple times. I mean, just over the years that we've been coming here, uh, rock throws, power knocks, few vocals. Um, Don, I think, has witnessed some shadow figures going around the field.
That's correct.
Uh, Multiple experiences with battery drainage with our equipment.
Electronic
Surges. Don't know what all that means.
Right.
But this has been an active spot in years past, so we're back tonight and see what happens.
There's been some good examples of stick structures along this general corridor right here.
Some tracks have been found here.
Mm-hmm.
I've shared some of those pictures and showed you with some of the stuff. Stick structure right up here on the right hand side, an X formation or a teepee formation was found the same day the track was found. And what was unique about that track, I had brought my girlfriend out here. This is her very first trip here, and she found a track. And it was so fresh that the track that we were looking at, the next step up, the pine needles were still damp. So, and we had seen some activity of where they were digging in a mud puddle and pulling the debris out of the bottom, and they were digging for frogs and frog eggs.
Yeah.
And you could see where they had been working that whole mud puddle. And I think when we walked up, we had disturbed what was going on, and they scattered, but we were that close to them, and that was broad daylight. But
Wow.
didn't see anything, but we did see the track, and it was still wet. That was a year ago, so
Wow.
it's active, still is.
Yeah. Now, has there been reports that you know of people actually visually seeing any of them up in here?
Yes.
Okay. So
Personally seen them up here.
You have.
Don has too.
You've personally seen them here.
Yes.
Twice, yeah.
Okay, so when was it at night?
It's at night.
Okay. About what time at night?
It's varying times. From
Varying times.
10 o'clock at night till 3 in the morning.
Okay. Now, did you see them in a FLIR or thermal or just?
The first time I saw them was with the Russian Cyclops night vision, and it was not too far from here, and it ran across the field in large bounds, and it was neither man nor ape. It was more of a Neanderthal.
Really?
It was muscular. It was about twice as broad as I, and probably 7.5 feet tall.
Did it glance at you? Look over?
It looked back.
It did.
And like I said, it was very fast, and I had a hard time convincing myself what I saw. But later that night, David and I and one other person, we had a even closer encounter and had a chance to study it.
Really? So what did it?
And that
when you
one,
say study it, what did it look like?
it was less than 50 feet away from us.
Okay.
You're talking about behind your vehicle.
Yeah.
So we were in an area where we were camping. Don's vehicle was pulled in kind of parallel to where we were camped.
Where at? Here?
Near here.
Okay.
I won't say the specific location, but it was in the Uwharries. And we were sitting to where we could look over each other's shoulders, and we had been hearing some noise around us, and which is normal for this area. And we're sitting in chairs, and just out of the blue, it stands up behind Don's car at the trunk level. He's just standing there, and his eyes are glowing red. And I told Don, I said, "Don't turn around." I said, "But he's right behind you." I said, "He's at your trunk." And I'm not pointing at him. You know, we don't point at him. And so we studied him and tried to get as much, detail out of what we're looking at to till it gets to a point that everybody wants to see it. And so Don at that point tried to slowly turn around and look at it with the night vision, the Russian night vision we had. And at that point, it ducked back down and took back off. But we never heard it take off. You couldn't hear it stealth. So once we figured out it was gone, we got up, went over to the car, and there was a big puddle of urine next to the car.
Really?
And we never could determine if it happened to have been one of us who went over there and, you know, relieved ourselves, or it actually done it. But it was an awful big spot.
Like it was marking its territory.
Yeah. Or it was excited.
Right.
You know, they exert different odors and stuff when they get excited.
Okay.
But it had disappeared. So we just, you know, this was a normal occurrence for us. It wasn't nothing to really get excited about. And so we just went back to our chairs, sit back down, see what else happens. And then, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes later, Don heard something, and I'll let Don tell you what he saw right after that. It was the same spot, same occurrence, just a continuation of the events.
Okay.
So creature came back, and it was behind basically the car, and so studied it, and we had a fire going, and we were there was only 3 of us in this area, and the eyes were glowing red, and tried to validate that the eyes glowing wasn't from the fire, nor the fire reflecting off the taillights of my car. So it was standing there behind the tree, looking at us. And at one point, I went to turn and was attempting to take a photograph of it, but before I could even make enough movement to get a camera up, it bolted.
But the eyes were illuminating themselves.
They were illuminating themselves, somewhat like the light on the camera.
I don't know.
My body was
How
actually,
does it do that?
it was very warm at night. We just had a fire for just atmosphere for us.
Right.
And I was actually sitting between the fire and it.
Mm-hmm.
So my body was actually blocking any kind of light that would have been illuminating on him.
And the third person was laying in a sleeping bag, basically alongside the fire. So basically, like David said, we didn't let it realize that we knew it was there, and we were able to study it. And but like I said, went for the photo evidence and
study it. Now, when you say study it, what's the one thing that stuck in your mind the most about what you saw?
well, like I said, the size and stature of it is what stuck in my mind. Like I said, twice as broad as I, which I'm a pretty broad person, so
It was almost, if you put both of us together,
yeah.
Oh, you're kidding me.
this is how big he was.
Yeah.
You're kidding me.
Yeah.
And the chest area and shoulders?
And 2 foot taller than us.
Yeah.
Oh,
And like I said, it was very muscular. It wasn't like the Patterson Gimlin Patty. This was.
It wasn't barrel chested, or it didn't have a gut. It
No.
was athletic.
Okay.
That's correct.
It was Superman
Really?
with hair.
And when you say hair, did it have long hair on its arms?
No,
Do you
it
recall?
was just really neat.
Yeah.
It wasn't shaggy. It was groomed looking. It
Really?
It wasn't. It didn't look like a monster.
No.
No.
It
didn't look
was.
like a monster.
It was more human than ape. It was. To us, I mean, we were used to them by this point of
Right.
having those close encounters. We didn't get excited. I mean, we were excited to see it, of course,
Of course.
but not to the point that we jump up and, hey, look.
Right.
We took those opportunities to, okay, well, if I can block the fire, is his eye still going to glow?
Right.
Right.
That
Thinking
type of
about
stuff.
things as
How
you're
big
going
is it?
along.
Comparing that to the car, remembering how wide is it to the trunk of the car? It was almost as wide as the trunk of the car. And this was a Dodge Magnum
300.
300 at the time.
Yeah.
I mean,
Did it make any
the little
grunting sounds
details.
or anything?
No, it's
No, it's
perfectly silent at that
silent.
Oh
time.
yeah.
Okay. Huh.
But we would take that opportunity to learn as much as we could about it while it's standing there. Because we could make mental notes. Okay, he's as wide as the trunk of the car.
Right.
So after it's all over with, we can go back and measure
Mm-hmm.
the trunk of the car and say, well, he's 40 inches wide.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the eye shine was what was really giving
Yeah.
itself away, was the eye shine.
If he hadn't, if the eyes hadn't shined, I would have had a very hard time of realizing at the very beginning that there was one even standing there. When his eyes started shining, I said, "Oh, Don, don't move." But there's one right behind you. He's standing right directly, almost directly between me and Don. And you got to remember, Don's head's this high. I'm here. When I'm looking at him, he's still way up here.
Exactly.
It's.
That's why they call him Biggie.
I mean,
Oh my God.
Don in no way, shape, or form blocked him in any way. He was like, that's how big he was.
No kidding.
Right.
And this is the individual animal or creature, whatever you want to call it, is the ones we had repeatedly had encounters with for a couple of years at this point.
Okay.
So
In
we're
this
used to
general
seeing
area?
the same. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
At that point, I think there's 5 from the photographic evidence that we had captured and visuals. There's about 5 individuals at that time that I know of. There may have been more, but there were
Were
5
there both
that were-
male and female?
yes.
Were there any little ones?
There's a female at the point I got a photograph of her along with another
Mhm.
researcher, and she's 4'11", but she's real broad.
So not all of them are 6, 7 feet tall.
Now this was a female. She was more broader. She looked barrel chested, but she was real short, real wide nose. They got really high cheekbones, kind of a protruding snout, not a flat face.
Wait a minute.
Not like a
The
chimpanzee.
ones that you've seen here have a little bit of a protruding snout.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
Okay.
Not like a dog man that you hear people
so
describe.
that's
a dog.
different than a dog man would be
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
classified.
This was more of a just enough of a protrusion. It's not human,
Okay.
but it's
so-
not an ape either. It's 2 different. It has a nose, like a big, wide, flat nose.
And
I mean,
was
it's
there hair
wide.
on the face at all?
I mean,
or
if
was
you
it-
when you're looking at it, the pupils of the eyes are almost line up with the outsides of its nose. That's how wide it is.
Mm.
Almost. I mean, not
Right.
quite, but it's that wide.
And then was there hair on the face, or what colors?
It's
is it
some
tannish?
there, but it's not. It's not completely. Kind of like a gorilla.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
the cheeks and
Yeah.
stuff like that. There was a little bit.
But the hair kind of flowed like
Like
yours.
yours.
Really?
Yeah.
The hair.
the head?
Now the hair.
Yeah.
The hair is longer on the shoulders and stuff.
That's correct.
The males have facial hair more. The
Really?
females have less.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have like a beard type facial
No, I
hair?
didn't.
I mean,
Or
I
just
haven't got that
All
much. but
even down.
The one color photograph that we've got from this area, the
Mhm.
big male that's here,
Yeah.
he's the same color as Chewbacca. He's got the deep set eyes. If you just flipped it up there and said, "Here, there he is," you would first thing that would pop in your mind is Chewbacca off Star Wars.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But with a wider nose and less hair on the face. But I mean, that's the general thing. It's the first time you've seen him. He's that big. He's that.
That's
And
crazy.
then, like you said, the hair flowing like yours.
And it's
from
real
the
neat.
head and the shoulders, but then
It's real neat. It's almost like
Yeah.
it's like a bear. You never see a bear. Their hair is real shiny and healthy,
Right.
and
True.
their hair is, but a bear will have shaggy looking hair sometimes. This thing was like, it didn't bunch up. It was like slick to the skin. It wasn't real thick like fur. This was
It
hair.
was hair.
Yeah.
So you guys have no doubt that these creatures are real.
No, I'll go to. I mean, I bet my life on it right now today that they're real.
You?
exactly
Same?
same. Like I said, the first time I saw it, I tried to convince myself that I didn't see it, but I knew
They're
it
real.
wasn't.
They're
And
real.
I've seen them multiple times. You've seen them multiple
Yeah.
times, and not just here in Uwharrie,
Right.
North Carolina.
Right.
This is all up and down the East Coast that we've been, and they look generally the same everywhere you go.
And this being
And
the oldest mountain range in North America, you know, the North Carolina Zoo is nearby, but you would think, well, maybe ape escaped, but like I said, this was neither man nor ape.
no, it's
No, and
and there's no mistaking it. It's not a bear standing up.
No.
A bear standing up's no wider than you.
true, and they usually don't run on two legs.
No.
You know.
And then later on that night, we went back and, you know, we're relaxed. We're not scared. We're not spooked. We go back, hey, we just had a good sighting. We sit back down. All of a sudden, Don jumps up and runs to the little road that comes into where we're at and catches him again. And all he catches is the back of him running away from us at a very fast pace.
You catch him again with the
Night vision.
Night vision. You were okay. And did it record it?
No, at that point in time, we didn't have the
recording.
the technology to be able to do that.
This was a gym too. Russian.
Yeah. So in this particular area, there has been reports of orbs, correct?
Yep, correct.
Orbs coming across the field and
White orbs, red, green.
and
yellow.
you've seen them, Don?
I have.
You have seen them.
Mhm.
How big are they?
Anywhere from tennis ball size to soccer ball size.
Really? That's so weird.
I keep seeing something white
Yeah,
Right.
there too.
right there.
Right in the bottom of that valley right there.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I was spotting that too.
I see it
That's
too.
why I went down to the other end of the field.
That's not a tower that
It's-
direction,
It's
though,
some
is
kind
there?
of
No.
consistent light though. I think it's something else.
Yeah, it's probably another. There've been some new cell towers put up in the area,
Okay.
so
So, all right. So the Uwharrie is definitely the home of the Squatch.
Yep.
Sounds like to me.
Well, like I said,
it's
the
not
history.
it's not as active as it used to be. But they're still here. They just don't interact with people. There's so much pressure on them now that
Right.
they don't interact the way they used to with us.
No.
It's very hard to get them to come up and interact with you.
And you see how many people out here tonight.
Mm-hmm.
This whole national forest is saturated with people.
Yeah.
I bet there's probably 500 people in the woods tonight.
Wow. Well, that's an interesting story, you guys. I can't believe you just like, oh look, there's a Bigfoot, la-di-da.
And
I'd be
then,
like, oh my God.
Well, when we first started doing this, that's what we did.
yeah.
I've never seen one.
And then we were excited. I mean, we would get just all pumped up, talk about it for days.
Really?
But over the years, we've had so many encounters.
It's just a
To us, it's like a deer going across the road.
no kidding.
I mean, we still get excited like a big buck.
Right.
But, you know, now it's a matter of fact. That's what that is. We don't, no second guessing it no more. We know what it is.
And you can't always look for the creature to be standing up 7
Yep.
foot tall, because a lot of times it'll be down on all fours or low to the ground watching you. So
Or
you're,
laying
Creature
down.
crawling like
Or crawling on its belly up to you.
yeah.
like
and
at my
and-
house maybe.
and
You
the
told
thing
me
that-
about that before.
Right. And the thing that most people don't realize, you see that one, but there's usually 2 or 3 more
That's
with him
right.
you never see.
We hear
That's the one that decides that he's going to interact with you. The other one's to sit around and watch.
and if you get too close,
Close,
they'll
they're-
start clacking rocks or tapping a stick or something to draw your attention, where the
This
other
one,
one
will
can
all of
get
a
away.
sudden, he just
Oh.
disappears. And they will interact with you until they no longer feel comfortable. And then they just all of a sudden, all the activity, it's just like turning off a light switch. Boom, they're gone. You never hear them leave sometimes.
You don't even hear them leave.
They just spoof, they're gone. I mean, they just fade away back into the darkness. And you never hear anything. They never come near you again. Come back tomorrow night, nothing.
That's so
But you come back a month or 2
Yeah.
from here in the same location, but you might have your next experience half a mile from here.
That's right.
right.
But we know where to go and what to look for and where to. Over the years, we've had so many experiences. We know where best to go to have
Right.
the experiences. They won't just show up anywhere.
And this is one of those areas.
It
Yeah,
is.
this is one we've had
And
a lot of experiences.
we set a precedence in the
Okay.
country here because we were able to actually put people out in an area like this and hunker down. And then, like my son and I, we acted as bait and came in and set up camp. And it did some calls, and were able to call one in. And everybody had a up close and personal
Wow.
experience.
And we were able to share it, but we shared it too much, and
Oh,
it's ruined now.
Yeah,
yeah.
wow. Exactly.
So now it's the small group of people that you would bring up here. That are very
Yeah.
You're choosy about who you tell.
I know where I
Stuff.
could go, I can go right tonight to a place right now and almost guarantee you they'll come up.
Is that the place
But I
that takes a
won't-
good while to get there?
Yeah, and I won't take you there because that's the last spot that's, and they know me. They know Don. Don's been there. Don's experienced it.
Yeah,
And the
want-
Uwharrie.
Yes.
Yes.
not too far from here, but
Mm-hmm.
It takes a bit to get there, and,
Mhm.
and no, but there's very few people know that exact location for a reason.
Well, let's go.
No.
No.
I'll share
Mate,
some stuff with you,
Yeah.
Another day,
but
right?
another day.
Another day.
Without
another
cameras.
night. Another night.
No cameras
yes.
allowed.
We
when we do
let you leave your GPS and phone somewhere else so you can't track where we were at.
Okay. Are you gonna make me go blindfolded in too?
No, but we'll take you away. You'll never go back to Mexico. We'll find it again.
Okay, well that's interesting. Well, we're just gonna hang out here and see what happens tonight.
Yes,
and-
we'll see if we can't have some activity.
Great. Well, thank you guys for
Well,
sharing that information.
thank you.
Thanks.